The Indiana Pacers have won Game 6 and they are going to the NBA Finals. We're going to break down the ins and outs of the game tomorrow. Let's talk about the context of this situation, the circumstances that got the Pacers here. This is a team that in their history in the NBA have made the conference finals a total of 10 times. 2 of those coming in these last couple seasons. Prior to this year, in those conference finals, they were 1-8. This year, they made that 2-8. So this is a stage that they have not found themselves on very, very regularly. But now, for the first time since the 2000 NBA Finals, the Pacers are back on that championship stage. Last time around, it came as a result of the play of Reggie Miller and the most improved player in the league, Jalen Rose. Now, of course, they're led by Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam. And right now, Tyrese Haliburton has a chance to cement himself as an all-time great pacer. And that might sound crazy because of his age. This is a franchise, though, with not too much of a storied history. Reggie Miller, of course, was incredible. He's had so many great moments. In terms of the second greatest pacer ever, you've got a lot more conversations. You've got Paul George, who, of course, had largely the prime years of his career in Indiana. Aside from that 1 year in OKC where he was going off, where he was an MVP candidate, most of the best of Paul George came when he was a pacer, and the peak of Paul George is really, really good. He's even influenced new guys coming to the game like Brandon Miller, of course, and he's really kind of the perfect modern-day star in terms of his abilities, both defensively as well as everything he does for you on offense. For my money, I would say the second greatest pacer of all time, it has to be Jermaine O'Neal. He was a 6-time All-Star, and in 03-04, he was third in MVP voting. And for the Pacers, they don't have many players get to that level of individual success to be even considered for the most valuable player in the world. All that to say, though, for as great as Paul George is, as great as Jermaine O'Neal and Reggie Miller were, and those are some all-timers at their peaks, their impact cannot be understated. Is it necessarily unattainable for Tyrese Haliburton by the time he's done with his career to be in the running with him as one of the best pacers of all time? I don't think that's unheard of at all. Reggie Miller, especially, is the mountaintop. I'm not saying he's gonna get there. Only time will tell. But especially in the case of talking about the second greatest of all time, you think about Jermaine O'Neal talking about how he was the only guy that for a long time was considered to be on the level of an MVP finalist. Tyrese Haliburton can get there, in my opinion. There was a stretch a couple of years ago where he was averaging 27-12 for like the first month of the year. And who's to say that he maintains that level or ever gets to that point of production ever again? But in terms of his impact, this is one of the best passers, if not the best passer, in the entire NBA. And he can be inconsistent at times, but he is the focal point of this Indiana Pacers offense. Everything that they do is through Tyrese Haliburton. And he's a very good scorer in his own right as well. And so with his finals berth, the second in the history of the Pacers, that already puts him in categories above the likes of Paul George, who never got them there. And especially if they manage to win an NBA championship, which that looks like it's going to be a very daunting task against the Thunder, Tyrese Haliburton could be in some conversations among all-time great Pacers. This is someone with all the talent in the world, and I don't say this to knock any of these all-time Pacers whatsoever, but it's to lift up Tyrese Haliburton as someone that, in my opinion, could very well be on their Mount Rushmore by the end of his career. In this finals berth is a chance to really cement that legacy. Whether they win or whether he puts up some great performances, he'll have made it further than 99.9% of Pacers players ever did. And I think this is a huge defining moment for his legacy. Even looking at the landscape of the NBA right now, of course, there have been calls of Tyrese Haliburton being overrated. And like in Game 5 against the Knicks, you kind of saw that come to fruition, where that was coming from. In which he had 8 points, 6 assists, only took 7 shot attempts. He looks very, very uncomfortable. But to have a great final series, that could boost his perception among the league and allows for some more appreciation for Hallie. For the rest of this team, this is a chance for Pascal Siakam to get not one, but a secondary championship. In that first ring, of course, coming with the Raptors, he was on a team that was kind of led by a mercenary, in a sense, in Kawhi Leonard, who went to Toronto, won a championship, and then he left. But now, Pascal Siakam is a part of a team that has truly built up an incredible culture over there, and they've got more homegrown talent that they've really seen develop, like Hallie, like Miles Turner, like Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nembhard, who maybe haven't spent their entire careers as a Pacer in the case of Nesmith and Haliburton, but they've come into their own in Indiana. And now Pascal Siakam is a part of that. And so for him to get a second ring, that would be a great moment for him. He's got the chance now. Speaking of these Pacers who have come to their own in Indiana, let's talk about Aaron Nesmith, who has had moments these playoffs where what he brings you offensively, especially his ability from beyond the arc, has been so vital to the Pacers' success. And so now you get him on by far the biggest stage of his career in the NBA Finals. I am very interested to see how Aaron Nesmith reacts. This is a player who I feel like has the ability to step up in the biggest moments, and he's going to be tested absolutely. I'm excited to see how Aaron Nesmith responds to the moment. And the last player I want to talk about here is Benedict Mathurin. This is someone who, after his rookie year, looked like he was going to be someone who was going to be key to the success of the Pacers in the future. His second year, in terms of production, a little bit of a sophomore slump, but his third year, this season, he's got that production back to where it was, been a solid scoring option for Indiana. The postseason, though, is where stars are really made. And Benedict Mathurin, it's been a little bit up and down for him. He's had moments like in the Cavs series where he goes off for 19 points and then 23. But then the rest of the games, he might be quiet. And you saw this in the series against the Knicks as well, in which the first three games he was very, very quiet. In game 4, 20 points. In game 5, 23. So Mathurin has had a roller coaster postseason run. If he can tap into what he was doing in some of these games against the Knicks and against Cleveland, that could really be what it takes to push Indiana over the edge to a victory. And maybe not the whole series itself, but just in a couple games. Benedict Mathurin is going to be real, real important for them. And much like Aaron Nesmith, I'm really, really excited to see how he responds to being on this stage. And for the Indiana Pacers, it's been an incredible season for them. They're in pretty uncharted territory here. Going to the finals, Tyrese Haliburton has a chance to cement himself in Pacers history as an all-time great. Pascal Siakam is truly part of a team looking for his second championship. And I'm really excited to see what Benedict Mathurin and Aaron Nesmith have in store. It's been a very fun postseason to this point, but it's only going to get better. And the Indiana Pacers are going to the NBA Finals.